Now, one thing that I've realized in the past few, I would say, weeks is that you're never actually going to be as young as you are today. Now, no matter if you're 16, living at home with zero expenses, or if you have bills at 25, you have a lot of things you have to cover. Like the day after, regardless of your age, you will be older, right? Maybe not in years, but you will be older, right? In the grand scheme of things. And the best thing you can do, especially when you're in between those ages, is literally work on yourself, right? Because honestly, uh, we don't have as much time as we think that we have, right? And I'll start this off by I'll try to have like a clear direction of where I want to take this video. Like if you're living at home and you get food at any time that you want, I think the recording something happened here. Okay, so if you're living at home and you get food at any time you want, you have your own bed, you have a family around you, have your own family, you have water, you can shower. You literally like don't spend anything pretty much. Like, do you really like understand the luxury that you have? Like most of you people watching this, if you're based in the US, UK, wherever you're based, and you're anywhere from 16 to 22, 23, that is your case, right? And I had that myself. Like I was living a life completely primed for me to be successful, right? And I'm doing it right now as well. Alhamdulillah, like I have everything that I need, right? If not even more. Like when I started out, right, first, obviously now I'm at this position where I help my family out, right? If there's any bills or anything like that, I cover that, I help them, right? Because I'm able to do that, right? As a son, you should be able to do that, even as a daughter, right? It doesn't really matter. But you should be able to do that. But the point is, when I started out, like I didn't cover anything at home. I didn't have any bills to pay. I didn't cover any groceries. I didn't spend my time doing any of that. I didn't spend my time making my own food. Like, you know, like when your mom or your dad makes food and everything is ready, you just go up and depending on where your room is, but you go up, you eat with them and you sit with them and then you go down back to your room again. Like if you have that, like my mom, like God bless her, she did. She would make the food, put it up, and just have it ready so that whenever I came up to eat, I just had to warm it up and eat it, right? Just as I explained. And same with my dad. Like he's always been there, being like supportive. I'm not trying to be that one guy that'll be like, oh, no, nobody was there for me. No, they were, right? 100%, and they still are. And like, but God bless both of them. Like it's like you like understand like how many hours that saves you. Like it's crazy. Like you need to understand, and only when you understand and you actually start appreciating the shit that you already have, that's when you start looking at time like, okay, this shit is valuable, right? Because the stuff that you have right now, there's things you can't even put a price on it, right? I believe it was if I remember correctly, I believe it was Alex Hormozy. He had like this quote, or if there was this was this time where he said something where he talked about like as soon as you get money, the first few things you want to do is you want to buy a good desk, you want to buy a good chair, good earphones, you want to buy a good bed, you want to buy a personal chef, you want to buy a training plan, something like that, right? And the reason you want to do that is because you're able to spend a lot less time on it and you get a lot more time for the business, right? And it's also good for you in terms of recovery and all that good stuff, right? Like why do they do this? Like you already have that. Like if you're in that position and you're young and you have that already, you have a bed, you have a roof over your head, you have clean water, you have food whenever you need food. You don't need to buy shit. Like you need to understand how lucky you are and you need to appreciate it, right? And the point I'm coming towards is because is that when you have all of this stuff, it's very easy to become comfortable, right? It's not only positive. Like I can sit here and talk about, oh, when you have all this shit, like, oh, everything should be easy for you. No, it's quite the opposite of it. It gets harder because you have everything, right? And I can testify for it because when I first started out, it was very difficult getting into work and shit like that because I always had something to fall on, right? I always had this thing where I was like, oh, well, if this goes wrong, well, okay, that's good. Like I don't really need to care about that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. But you have to play it for your advantage, right? Like you really start. Like if you're watching this and you have these luxuries, please just start appreciating them, right? And really start working hard because there's literally no time in your life. Literally, I'm going to tell you this, there's no time in your life that you're going to work as hard as you can do right now. Literally. Like if you waste this time, it's really only gonna get harder, right? So please don't think that you have time. Don't think, oh, I'm young, I'll do it later, I have a few years, like, oh yeah, I'll just wait 1, 2 years. No, 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 and no. Literally, just start now. You need to have that urgency and need to have that momentum, right? Just don't give up, just start now and get going. Don't wait. You don't have as much time as you think. Literally, you don't. Like I, it's very, very easy to be fooled by it, but you don't, right? Like think about it like this, right? As you get older, like um, you have a lot more responsibility, right? And that's true. Like your parents might get ill, they might need your help. You might have a wife, you might have kids, you might have bills, right? There's more things that just start popping up in your life, right? Which takes so much time and energy, right? If you think about it in the grand scheme of things, right? At the end of the day, like think about time. Like time is just an illusion, right? The time you have from your 20 till you're 23 is not the same time that you have from 30 to 33, right? It is 3 years. Yes, 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 yes. In time perspective, it is 3 years. But when you're 30 to 33, it's not the same at all, right? When you're 20 and 23, between 20 to 23 and 3, you have so much more energy, you have so much more time. Whereas when you're 30 to 40 and issues like that, you have less time and energy for yourself. You need to allocate your time because other people depend on you a lot more, right? Another very good reason is that time moves a lot quicker when you get older, right? So think about it like this, right? The difference when you were like between 15 to 16 is huge, right? And the reason is because when you're that young, like you're going through puberty, your mind's changing, like you're learning a lot, like things are changing, right? This just goes to show that for every year after that, there's less change. The increase is smaller, right? It doesn't feel like that much is changing. Like when you're going from 36 to 37, 38 to 39, like it's just the same thing, right? It just feels like time has gone by because you don't see these big indistinctive changes. However, whereas if I was asked you, oh, do you see a big change from when you're 15 to 20? Yes, you do. But do you see a big change from when you're 35 to 40? You don't, right? And then you realize, oh, time's gone very quick, right? Where did time go? Like you've probably heard a lot of people like say, oh, where did time go? Oh, time went so quick. Oh, I didn't know, like this and that. Like it's true. Like you don't know until it actually happens. And keep in mind, like time is this very thing that you really don't have a lot of. So don't waste it, right? You also need to think like with age, like you become a lot more you become a lot more risk averse. Like at the age of 14, like everybody here has been 13, 14, 12, like whatever age you are, right? You don't really think nor care about consequences at all, right? Even if it's just like playing around in like the playing field, playing around, playing soccer, running around, ding dong ditching people's houses, you don't give a shit about what happens. You really don't. Like you could jump off of like a rocky place, like a mountain, almost break your knee, but you wouldn't really care about the consequences, right? You'll go ahead and steal from the shops without caring about anything. You'll go ahead and ride your bike as fast as you can because you don't really care, right? There's no worries, just no risk at all, right? But think about it, even like from the change from 15 to 20 to 25 to 30 to 35, just as more older you get, the more you have to lose. Right, the more you have to lose. Your parents get older, you have to look after them, you have a wife, you have kids, you have more money. All these things, they will slow you down in the grand scheme of things, 100%. And you probably heard that quote before. Like, I bear with me. I don't know if I paraphrase it correctly, but it's the man that has nothing to lose is the most dangerous. Something around like that, right? And it just goes to show, like, when you literally have nothing to lose, you're willing to take a lot more risk. You have nothing to lose, right? That's the most dangerous man. However, if you're a person with a lot on the table and you have this family, you have wife, you have kids, you can't take the same risks that you can do right now. If you don't have that right now, do you know what type of position you're in? And the thing is, you won't value this position until you're not in it anymore. It's very, very crazy to think about it, but think about like everything in life works in patterns, right? Think of it like this. When you're sick and you get a cold, right? And your throat is hurting, your nose is hurting, like you're sneezing all this shit, you're coughing. That is the only time you appreciate being healthy. Who of you guys, like even me, like which one of us sits down and just reflects on the fact that we're healthy, reflects on thanking God that we're healthy, that we have our life? Like, who does that? Realistically, just ask yourself, like, you got the answer. If you do it, good, kudos to you. But realistically, 99% of people don't, right? We only start appreciating things when we don't have them anymore, right? And this is one of those things that the reason I'm making this video is because I realized that, and I want to share this with people. Just realize the fact that you don't have that time, you don't have this position that you're in right now. You're not going to have it when you get older, and get it. You're only going to realize it once you get older. When you're 28, 29, 30, and you have kids, you have a wife, that's when you're going to realize, oh shit, I should have risked more when I was 20, when I was 21, when I was 22, 23. When you're young, you're a lot less risk adverse. It just works a lot better, right? There's things that's gonna slow you down, right? When you have so much like in the game, with so much skin in the game, it's very hard, very, very hard to just be willing to risk as much as you would at a young age, right? It's inevitable, right? That's just true, right? It's just like you 100%. Like it's nothing more that you can say to that, right? Like think about it like this, right? If you're older, right? You're 35, 40, like whatever it is. Like, would you really invest all of your money into a new business when you know that next week you have rent due, you have a son and a daughter to look after? Like, you wouldn't, right? You would just by thinking of that, you would be like, oh no, I can't do that, right? So just based on that, like you don't have time. Acknowledge the fact that this is a prime age to work, 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 work. Put your head down, just take all the risks that you can in the world, sacrifice time, sacrifice these things, get work done. Because literally, if worst case scenario, as the young people, like even if we had to, we could even go sleep at a friend's house. We could even go rent like a hostel for $5 a night. Like it's just yourself. You don't really lose anything, right? You just gain, right? At the end of the day, you don't have anything significant to lose. But when you're older, you do have something to lose, right? And I know I keep saying this, keep saying this, keep saying this, but literally, it's so true. Like the last thing I'll cover with you guys, literally, and it's with this point as well, is that when you get older, not only are you more risk adverse, but you go ahead and talk yourself out of things, right? The longer you wait, the more you talk yourself out of it, right? Like if you don't soon enough, like you're actually not going to do it. Like I can give you an example at the top of my dome right now, the top of my head right now. Um, let's say there's you're outside and you see a beautiful girl on the other side of the street and you want to talk with her, right? But then you start thinking, oh, should I? Oh, should I talk with her? Boom, boom. You start thinking, you take a lot of time instead of just going ahead, seeing her and talking with her. You start thinking too much. You start thinking, oh, should I? Should I this? Should I not? And you start going around, and then all of a sudden you see another man approaching her, which actually had the balls to go in and do something and actually go ahead and talk to her. You approach her, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's her man. Oh, yeah, yeah, it's fine, it's fine, and then you justify the fact that you didn't do something, right? You see how that works? And that's just in this pattern. But again, everything in life is patterns, right? Same thing will happen with business, right? You're going to start thinking, oh, I'll do it later, later, later. When that time comes, oh, yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. You can choose what's meant to be for you. You have free will. I mean, obviously, as a Muslim, I believe that everything is predestined. But again, you can work hard for something and you will achieve it. Like you can get what you want in life. And I truly believe that, right? You literally cannot afford to wait until next year. You cannot afford to wait the next 5 months. You cannot even afford to wait until tomorrow. If there's anything you take away from this video, do it now, do it today. Like don't look back, don't even think about it more. Just do what you gotta do now. Like it's gonna be more of an expensive expense for you to not do it now rather than waiting. That's more expensive. So take this in, keep like watch this video if you have to, watch it again, watch it multiple times, save it down. I recorded this myself in like a voice note and I listen to it as soon as I can because you don't have time. Literally, you don't have time. So please just make sure that you respect it, make sure that you acknowledge the fact. That's why I started off with if you have these luxuries, like acknowledge the fact that you have them and you're going to start respecting time a lot more as well. So make sure that you do that, make sure that you understand it, make sure that you respect your time, make sure that you spend it wisely, don't waste your time, don't do anything you shouldn't do. Focus hard, put your head down, work, 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 and you will get the results. Remember, at the end of the day, you owe it to yourself to be great. All right? Remember that.